everybody, welcome back to Colin's Crazy Creatures. I'm here at the Wildlife Center at Refreshing Mountain, and the Wildlife Center Director, Mark Layton, is going to show us around the place.
Hey Colin, thanks for coming out, man. I'm excited to give you a tour of our facility.
I am too excited.
Alright, come on in. They're awesome. Have you seen the other species of Gecko that are out there? Some of the different Felsiva? What would you say your favorite is?
It's awesome as a will/have aspects.
Sure. People, yeah, they simply don't realize that there are no corn snakes in Pennsylvania. And we've got, this has been in the collection for over 4 years. And really, actually, they're quite easy to take care of as far as amphibians go.
One of the people who worked there actually caught a great tree frog, and we did a video on it, and it had a special guest star, the red-eft.
Oh, I love red-efts. We actually have a few of those in the back.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, when I went camping with the Cub Scouts, and I was still in Cub Scouts, now I'm in Boy Scouts. But we went to this one. This is a spiny soft-shelled turtle.
That's right, Colin. Yeah, so this is, these guys are native to the state of Pennsylvania. This is actually a subspecies found down in Texas and Louisiana. Really cool little turtles. They got that little snorkel nose that they use to get up and get some fresh air out of the water. Because they have a soft shell, they're not as well equipped to defend themselves like some of the other turtles out there. So they're fast swimmers. They'll come up, get a breath of air, swim back down to the bottom of the river or creek that they're in, and then they bury under the sand and gravel. So Colin, if you put him back in his aquarium here, we'll be able to see him actually do that. It's a pretty neat thing to see. And this is just a young one. They actually get to be fairly large turtles. We'll see if he does it here for us. And he's a good example of how turtles are very aware of their shells and have a lot of feeling in them, because once he's buried, he'll do a little wiggle at the end usually, just to make sure there's no tracks or evidence of him being buried. Let's see what he does here. And that's it, he's gone. Hard to see, of course, but this one's pretty small.
It's a nice shot of the red-bellied.
What would be cool is that if you slow-mo the tone.
I was having a green tree python just shed its skin like 2 days ago, so I was like, oh, nice little good and fresh for it. Good poop in their cage. Now that you guys have showed up. Hey guys, so one of my passions from the beginning of my journey in working with reptiles has been venomous snakes. I love all species from all over the world, but right now we keep North American pit vipers in our collection. And a quick intro to that, we use all of the same flight protocols, handling techniques, things like that as any major zoo would across the country. We never do any free handling. We call free handlers not very smart. And we just enjoy keeping our animals and doing it as safely as possible. So I'm gonna get our northern copperhead out here. We're gonna talk a little bit about the differences between copperheads and the harmless milk snakes that are found here in Pennsylvania. So northern copperhead, Colin, you can stand over here next to me if you want with your milk snake. So one of really only two venomous species here in Pennsylvania and the Northeast that you would have to worry about. There's also the endangered eastern Massasauga in Pennsylvania, which is a small rattlesnake. So timber rattlesnake being one that you'd have to worry about out of over 20 species of venomous snakes in PA. And then the northern copperhead being the other. Copperheads are less toxic than the timber rattlesnakes, but it still could be a very serious medical emergency that you'd have to get to the hospital for. Most bites in the US happen from intentional interactions where people are either handling them or trying to kill them, things like that. Occasionally people will step on them and stuff also, so you always have to be careful when you're out hiking and things like that. Colin's got our eastern milk snake, and with milk snakes, they are relatively common species here in PA. Ours is a little dull right now because it's getting ready to shed its skin. Milk snakes and northern water snakes both get killed all throughout the summer each year in Pennsylvania because people are convinced they're the venomous northern copperhead. So when you can see them kind of side by side, you can see some of those differences. But we always tell people, if you don't know what something is out in nature, just leave it alone. We never tell people to look at the eyes, even though technically speaking, in Pennsylvania, you would be correct in saying that the venomous snakes have vertical pupils, non-venomous snakes have round pupils, because we're looking at pit vipers and colubrids. But that's not true in most of the other countries in the world. Australia, for example, doesn't have a single venomous snake species with vertical pupils. They're all elapids, so they have round pupils. And we don't go by the triangular shaped head either. Things like water snakes flatten their heads out to make them look triangular, and that's why they get killed. So remember, if you're out hiking in the forest, you see a snake, don't know what it is, leave it alone.
Is that a bullfrog tadpole?
Yeah, I believe those are, well, those might be green frog tadpoles.
That thing's gigantic. And there's a tiny little one.
Yeah, they're cool. It's about 60 years old. But the family who had him was about 40, the family who had him had it for almost 45 years, and it was an adult when they got it. So he's probably between 55 and 60 years old is what we would imagine. So that's something that we love showing people, just how they can do that. Usually climbing to get birds and bird eggs, or sometimes maybe even small squirrels, things like that.
This is a Barron's Racer. Barron's Racers are weird snakes. They have the green color. This one isn't that bright as others. And normally they're green, though I have researched that some of them can be a little bit more bluey and some can be brown.
Some can be very, very blue, Colin. I hope to have some someday. And this one is rather on the dull side because it's actually getting ready to shed its skin. Usually this one is a pretty nice full green color.
And they have a weird nose. It sort of looks like it has this weird shape to it, and it sort of reminds me of the rhino rat snakes that we saw at Rogue Reptiles.
The reason that people treat these like a non-venomous snake is because they're so docile typically.
This is as close as I'm going to get to a venomous lizard.
And they just have one rock cut that's active that you go on the pond. You know what? I can throw some fruit flies in for the dart frogs. That would be a fun shot. Having that. Milk frogs are not good. heal them on is to have my own private facility doing captive breeding of different rare venomous snakes and colubrids and stuff.
Let me back up as she's coming that way. I can get a longer. Okay.
Crested geckos, chameleon geckos, tortoise, crested geckos, leopard geckos.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go moving into the future. Alright, so this is one of our black-tailed rattlesnakes. I love this species. These guys are found Arizona, all the way down into parts of Mexico. And there's several different subspecies that are just stunning. I love all the western species of rattlesnakes. You know, the east has some awesome varieties as well. We got our pygmy rattlesnakes, eastern diamondbacks, timber rattlesnakes, which vary a lot, especially into the southern canebrake varieties. Rattlesnakes are pretty incredible. There's way more species of rattlesnakes than people realize, and then once you get into the different localities of some of those species, it's even more than that. All of my favorite species are the small montane rattlesnakes, banded rock rattlesnakes, Mexican lance-headed rattlesnakes, twin spots. I just think those are all really, really incredible. You know, what's amazing about rattlesnakes' venom is, you know, we're finding, and this is probably true of most venomous species of snakes around the world, but there's been studies with some of the southern Pacific rattlesnakes and things like that, that their venom within the species can vary so extremely, specifically because of the prey that they're eating. So it's all about, venom's all about predation. You know, people think rattlesnakes have venom to kill humans, but it's not true at all. It happens to be that if they needed to defend themselves, like any other snakes, it could be a seriously medical situation with a venomous snake. However, their venom is designed specifically to kill prey. And I just think that's a really amazing thing. It helps us understand them a little better. It's a bit of a sporadic feeder, so I'm really trying to get his weight up more. But overall, he's doing pretty well. His rattle is massive. Especially the general public, they don't usually know that rat snakes can do that. So that could be kind of fun. You know, we've got a few different black rat snakes. We have an Everglades rat snake that does pretty well with that too.
I'm not that big of an amphibian person because I only have one amphibian that's the one that you can take out the axle on. I have, we're going to try and breed them.
Oh yeah, what species?
Antelope.
Animal, oh, so those are like, children's pythons also. Those are incredible, yeah. I've always... the Canada commons, all of those are incredible. I usually just tell people who've never done it, or haven't done it much, just do pointer finger, thumb together right around the neck here. Alright? Just gently, and then the other hand go right here to the kind of base of the head. And he starts squirming it all, you just kind of let him do this thing. Alright? So yeah, these guys might be a good place to start. You want us to go, Kyle? Alright, so, how's it going, Colin?
Good.
Good. So these are our two American alligators. You know, in the state of Pennsylvania, interestingly enough, there's no regulation on crocodilians. So people get these as pets, and you know, if they realize after a while that they could grow to be 9 or 10 feet as adults, they'll sometimes let them go in their neighbor's backyard and things like that. And so we work with a local reptile sanctuary who actually will get some of those calls. They end up here with us, and unfortunately our facility is not big enough at this point to keep alligators and other crocodilians long term either, so we work with a rescue down in Georgia that we're able to send ours to when they get too large for us. The dream is to be in a facility big enough though that we can keep some other crocodilian species and larger alligators as well. Pretty cool, huh?
So, I'm holding a black rat snake. I had an awesome time here at the Wildlife Center at Refreshing Mountains. Thanks, Mark, for showing me around the place.
Of course, great having you guys, absolutely.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and stay next time on
Colin's Crazy Creatures.